Hello, everybody. It's Shelly. I'm back. You're probably wondering why I have this big pile of stuff in front of me. Well, it's because I have some news. I'm going to cut to the quick. I love making things. I take great joy in doing it. I spent a lot of years when I was working in the corporate sector, even in education as an administrator, whether it was K-12 or college, working all the time. There were times when I worked almost 24 hours a day for an entire year. I mean, it's grueling. It's probably where I got all this gray hair. I made a decision about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And so I went off and I pursued some things that I always wanted to do full time, like culinary arts and fitness. And then, as some of you know, in 2017, I got into this really bad car wreck. It was near fatal. I got a head injury. I got some other injuries to my neck, my back, shoulders, you name it. I had hip surgery about a year ago to repair a hip issue that, full hip replacement as a result of that car wreck. So I, again, made a decision that I was going to take another shift, and I scaled back. And I did spend 1 year working for government again, which I regret having done now. I ended up having a stroke. And why? I don't know. But I kind of think it had something to do with that job. One will never know. But after that, I really, really stepped back. And I thought, you know what, Shell, you worked really hard to get sober. You worked really hard to get your life back on track, to move on from a really bad, toxic relationship that had lasted for many, many years, that kept you in drunkenness. So I just said to myself, you've got to take that next step. You really have to focus on a calm, satisfying existence. Not satisfactory, because that implies that you're just settling for something, but satisfying. So that's what I did. I took my Social Security early, and I went back to work for Disney, and I was able to, make things and enjoy it when people bought things from me, watch them wear them, et cetera, et cetera. It was really great. But I've come to the conclusion, as of maybe 3 weeks ago, that my joy for making was getting derailed. So I'm going to scale back. Now, doesn't mean I'm going to stop making things. I'm going to keep making things. Whether I sell those things or not will be up to me. If I post and say, hey, I've got a few things available, here they are, hit me up, great. Other than that, I am going to offer up some of the items that I have in my studio that I've made, and I'm going to put them on my Etsy shop. And for those of you who haven't looked at my Etsy shop that I recently renewed, I've started to focus on something that really is near and dear to me, and that is being inspired by my cat, Oscar Mayer, my lucky cat, being inspired by him to continue to have this calm, satisfying life. He reminds me to get up out of my chair, take him for walks. He really is important to me. But even more than that are my sons and the rest of my family. And I want to be around for as long as I can for them. So I have scaled back. I've tapped into my art brain, and I have taken Oscar and I've turned him into Oscar the Lucky Cat, and I have line drawings, full color art of him, and he has become stickers, greeting cards, and he will become more things. So that's what I primarily have on my Etsy shop. I also have a journal, a calm crafter's companion, I call it, to help people like me who want to work through their projects and journal about them, maybe sketch, maybe write down some notes, but not get wrapped around the axle about stitch count and so tight around gauge and things like that. People that are more like me who pick up a project and start working on it, and if there's a mistake here and there, we don't rip it out. We keep going. My grandmother always said, leave a mistake in your work because it's God reminding you that you're not God. So I take that to heart. So today I want to show you a few of those items very quickly that I'm going to be putting up on the Etsy shop. It's going to take me a little bit because it's not a focus right now to put them up there. If there's something you're particularly interested in, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, keep checking in on my Etsy shop, and the link is in this description as well as in the shop bio up above. So let's get started. This is a really cool shawl that I made, and I am sorry I don't remember who originated this pattern, but I did make some adjustments to it. But it's not really a shawl, it's more of a cowl. It goes overhead, and if it's like this, it's very cozy. It's acrylic and cotton, and it's really cozy. I like it, but I would love it to go to a new home. And you can see up close if you want to see what the pattern looks like. It's very rainbowish and very colorful, and it's very soft and cozy. So I would like that to go to a new home. I also have some Japanese bags that are origami bags is what a lot of people call them. And I'll have more information about those below. So I have 3 of these, and they're all made out of the same fabrics, just put together in a different way. So you can see they're quite large. And I'll have dimensions as well in the descriptions. They're pretty large. It goes past my shoulder and quite deep. So these are nice. You can actually put them over your shoulder. You can put them over your arm. They are fully reversible. You can have them however you want. But like I said, I have 3 of them, and they're all made out of the same fabrics, just put together in a little different way. So 3 variations. You get what you get. And I like them. I have one and I use it. My sisters each have one. Great for projects. You can put groceries in there, library books. Somebody I know actually gave them to their daughters. They use them in school for their gym clothes. Pretty fancy gym bag. I'm going to set that aside for a second. Then I also have my project totes. These probably look very familiar. They look a lot like a bag that people clamor over. The difference is mine are fully lined. And they've got some interfacing in there to give it some stiffness so they stand up. There are no pockets inside, but there are pockets on the outside, front and back. This one is particularly interesting because it is made with Disney pattern fabric, and there's a hidden Mickey on the shoulder strap or on the strap. That one is going to be up on my site no, I think it might already be up on my Etsy shop. So check it if you're interested in that. The hidden Mickey bag, I call it. And then I have this one, which I think is particularly fun. This one does not have any pockets on the outside, but it does have pockets on the inside. And I think on the Etsy description, I need to fix that. So what I did is I did not want to cover up the patchwork on the outside with pockets. So it's fully patchworked. It's a really great fabric. I actually have a quilt made out of the same patterning. And it's got this great summertime fabric on the inside, and the pockets are on the inside, one on either side. Pretty ample. I can get my whole hand up to my wrist in those pockets. This is also on the Etsy shop. I need to adjust the description because I think it says outside pockets and it actually says interior pockets. It's the only bag I made with interior pockets again, so it didn't interrupt the flow of the design. So that is up there. 4 other bags that will be up there, 2 of each kind of exterior fabric, but different linings. They look like this, the first 2, And you can see the pattern in the fabric, but they both have different interior linings. This one has that same fun summer fabric, and then this one has another fun tropical kind of fabric. There are two of those, two variations, one with a pineapple theme and one with a summer theme. And then two other ones that are same fabric, slightly different the way they're put together. So, same fabric, both the interchangeable front and back, but they look different. So you can see the pattern here is going horizontally and here it's going vertically, and then the different sides of the fabric. And then on the bottom of the bag, this is going vertically and this is going horizontally. So those are the two main differences there, but these both have the pineapple interior. So the variations will be described very explicitly on Etsy. They have the exterior pockets on either side. All of those bags use a type of duck canvas. So they're very sturdy, as I said, fully lined and interfaced. Now I also have two pet quilts. These are great for putting in crates, laying on the couch, putting in the cat tree, putting in the dog bed. This one is of particular joy to me because this one is this bright rainbow fabric that I used. It is Deco Glow 2 for anybody who is a quilter. That is pretty awesome fabric. And to use it on a pet quilt, let me tell you, that's going to be one special pet, that little friend that gets to have this one. The other thing that makes this special is I did some very fun ad-lib quilting on this particular one. There's some zigzag, there's curves. I think on this side you can see some others. I did some diagonals, kind of space agey. I did the corners. What's even more fun is on the back. It has little cows. What's not to love? So if you have a little friend, this one will have the dimensions on the Etsy posting when I get it up. I don't have it up there right now, but these are great. All of our cats have their own quilt. In the cat tree, in the cat beds. When one was really little, their quilt was in a shoe box because he was that small, and now he's bigger, so that quilt is elsewhere. All right, so I don't know why. Okay, now this one is a larger pet quilt. I'd say this one's great for a dog or just a really big, like a Maine Coon, I don't know. The dimensions of this one will also be on the Etsy. And it has some very fun polka dot in the back. This one is done in a quilt in the round type quilting pattern that is something that I do, and that I may still do a video on how I do that because I'm going to be doing another one of those quilts for fun. So this one will be on there. My son has a friend in Texas whose dog has their own big pet quilt. And then finally, this one, it's really going to be hard for me to let this one go, but it needs to find a home. And before I show you the front, let me show you the backing fabric. Little rainbow kitties all over it. So if you are a cat mom or dad like me, then this is the one for you. This is a larger quilt. It's a lap quilt, and again, there will be the dimensions, but this one is a gradient quilt. Just gonna kind of show you. But when I post it, there'll be better pictures so you can see it in its entirety hanging. It's a gradient quilt. And this one, again, you can see the quilting on it. This one is just it was a joy to make this quilt. I loved making it. And if nobody decides they love it as much as me and it stays in my house, that's fine too. That's the joy of making, is that things can end up in someone else's house, and that's wonderful. And they can also stay in your house, and eventually they can still end up in somebody else's house. So I love making things. And I learned that from everybody in my family. My brother, my sisters, we all are makers in different ways. Some knit, some do needlepoint, some crochet, do cross stitch, petty point, and some weld, do carpentry. It's just a little bit of everything. And so growing up the way we did was sometimes difficult, but as an adult, I look back and I'm so grateful that we grew up with that make, do, and mend mentality, because now I'm able to pass that on to my own sons and all of the younger people around me. And I love seeing all the young people get into crafting. I think the pandemic really, the one good thing about that was that it got people to get back into those types of handcrafts. So I'm glad that we have that going on. So as I said, I'm shifting from full-time making, quilts and bags and sweaters and hats and gloves and things like that, and moving over into, I don't want to say paper goods because it might be more than that, but Oscar the Lucky Cat it's what it's all about now. So I hope you take a look on my Etsy shop, and if there's anything that I've shown you today that you're particularly interested in, feel free to comment below. When it's up on the Etsy shop, it will be there for whenever you are available to look. And I really hope that you like what I'm doing as I go forward. Love to hear your comments on it. And tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're making. Tell me what things bring you joy as you learn to make items, learn a new craft, or maybe it's something you've been doing for a long time. Tell me what gives you joy. I would love to hear about. Thank you for watching. I look forward to talking to you again, and we'll see you soon.